Hey guys, I'm Mark. Today we're going to do another tomato tasting. This video is going to be one out of a 4-part series. One video was about the brown, purple, and black slicer varieties and pink ones as well. And then I did another video yet about the bicolored tomatoes, the orange ones, the yellow ones, white ones, and green ones. And then another video was the cherry tomatoes, grape tomatoes, what I call the snacking varieties. This video is going to be about the regular red round slicing varieties. But this video is going to be a little bit different because today I've got two of my friends with me. This is Dave, my buddy Dave. He's a big plant enthusiast, tomato guy, big time. He's also got a bunch of irises and all kinds of stuff over at his place. And then this is my buddy Carrie. She's from over at Valley View Farms in Cockeysville, which is a famous garden center in the Baltimore area. You might also recognize her from WBAL Sunday Gardener on TV if you live around the Baltimore area. But these guys have been gracious enough to come over and help me out and volunteer their opinions for today's sake.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got some cool stuff here.
Great ones.
We're also going to do, at the end of this video, we're going to, you might see on the table here, we've got some other oddity varieties that we're going to just throw in and talk about at the end, just for sake of comparison about how these crazy different kinds sort of compare on a flavor profile compared to the rest of the, what I call normal red round regular tomatoes that most people might be familiar with. So that's why they're here, and we'll talk about them at the end. In the front, this whole front line here are all hybrids, and then this entire back strip here are open pollinated varieties or heirlooms. Some of them are heirlooms. I don't know if you can call them all heirlooms, but these are all open pollinated in the back. So to get started, we will, I guess, start on this side. Carrie, if you want to
absolutely
grab one of those, is that Better Boy?
It's either Better Boy or Big Boy.
That's Better Boy. Yeah, there's two
Better.
boys.
Okay.
There's Big Beef, I think, is the next one. If you're wondering what the little blue things are on here, that's just regular painter's tape. And it works very, very well for if you're going to do this, something like this at home, getting out in the garden and putting on like the labels or like the little initials of what they are. Just as long as you don't lose it in the process, then it's all good.
Good old bread knife again.
Yeah, good old bread knife. This is perfect for slicing tomatoes. So this is Better Boy, and then I did want to grab the sign for each one of these. I'll put this by the cutting board as I'm doing it. And then I guess we'll each try a piece of it, and then what we'll do is we'll all give it a number, a rating of what we think from 1 to 5. Dave and I, you might recognize Dave from another video. He helped me out with the cherry tomatoes and the grape tomatoes and the snacking varieties. What Dave and I wound up doing, thank you, was we decided to just do halfway in betweens as well. So we did 1.5, 2.5s, 3.5s, 4.5s.
There you go.
So it really made it like a 10-point scale. So we're going to do that this time, but each one of us will taste it and then we'll give it a number. That's the inside of this one. So let's go ahead and let's get down to it, guys.
All right. Yep. Sounds good. Better Boy's our best seller.
Yeah,
I think it's the one everybody knows.
Yep. That's a good one to start with.
Tastes like a Better Boy.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, it's a good benchmark. Mm-hmm. Everybody knows Better Boy, so we can talk about Better Boy for the rest of these, I guess, and maybe how some of them would be sweeter than this, or what do you think? A little like texture might be different, or just kind of use it as a.
I like the interior texture. The skin does kind of stick with it a little bit. That's always been kind of a beef of mine with this variety. But all in all, it rides well. You know what I mean? It can stay in my kitchen for a while and doesn't get messed up.
Yeah, definitely a good shelf life on it.
Yep.
I think for me, it's all according to what you're looking for. If you're looking for something that's super sweet, probably not it. If you're looking for old-time tomato flavor, it has plenty of that. Yeah,
good acidity, nice pungent flavor to it. And then a lot of these guys, what their claim to fame is, what I've noticed at least, is that how vigorous they are. Production value on them, crack resistance, disease resistance, all those kinds of things tend to be pretty strong with
shelf life.
Yeah, shelf life. They ship well. They don't bruise quite as easily.
Yeah, I feel like Better Boy was one of the first of the hybrids that really got a lot of good press for disease resistance and verticillium fusarium, soil diseases, and all that kind of stuff. So it's been a go-to for Maryland gardeners for a while.
Yeah, it does well in the humidity. It's not a huge plant. It's not as big. It's probably the second smallest plant, I would say, of everything that's sitting on this table. But we'll get to what I think is the smallest one in a little bit.
But it's not a dwarf.
but it's not a dwarf. Now, these are all indeterminates. I didn't mention that. Every variety on here is an indeterminate except for
Celebrity.
Except for Celebrity, it's like a semi-determinate. But the Celebrity is a good choice. That is the smallest tomato plant on the table. That only really gets about 3-4 feet tall. But it doesn't like give you a super quick flush out where everything ripens all at once. It does kind of stagger its fruiting a little bit later on in the season. But everything else is indeterminate. It'll just keep on going. Anyway. Yeah.
I'm going to go with a 4. I mean, it's what I expect out of a tomato.
Okay.
That
So
might
Carrie,
be too high as we get going, but we'll see.
Carrie's going to do a 4, and the way that I'm going to do this is I'm going to mark each one of our initials directly underneath where we think it where it lies for us. So I'm going to put Carrie as a C right here as a 4. Dave, what do you think?
I'll keep it at the middle of the road. 3.
Dave's at a 3. I think I'm going to go right in between you guys at a 3.5.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see, that's how we're going to do it.
DMC. We could
All
start a
right.
band.
Yeah, some of these varieties, as I was putting the initials on, I was like, hey, yeah.
Do you want to take that one back
That's
over
an
here?
acronym for something else. Yeah, it does
Okay.
belong over there. Thank you. So I'll probably just slide this one over there as well.
And you want the big beef? The big
Yeah,
beef?
let's do
Give
a
me the big beef.
The big beef. This one is very similar, I find, in terms of its growth habit to Better Boy. Let's see. Let me move that over here. This one's similar in its growth habit compared to Better Boy. I think only Big Beef seems to get a few more of these larger fruits on it. The average fruit size in general, I think, is just a little bit larger. But in terms of productivity and crack resistance and all that stuff.
And this is a beefsteak style tomato, right?
Yeah, I would say so.
One piece on my
Oh, look at
BLT.
that.
One slice is enough,
One
right?
big slice. Oh yeah, look at that.
You don't have any soft crabs today, do you, Mark?
Is the soft crab season again? I know it's like early on we get that soft crab season.
We have
But
some
I've
frozen.
been seeing soft crabs, advertised around.
Pretty.
Yeah. Well, let's do a couple options here. I kind of goofed this one up. But, yeah, well, have at it. Pick something up. Let's give it a shot.
I should have worn a red shirt.
Yeah.
Just hit that one time for me, Mark.
That one time. All right. There you go. Yeah, they're not all this size, but it's a pretty uniform, round tomato for the most part. Not a whole lot of cracking or cat facing or anything crazy going on.
That's milder to me
It's milder.
than the last one.
I'd say it's a little bit sweeter too.
It is.
Like that?
A little more sugar.
Yeah. Now, so I gave Better Boy a 4 because I want this to be a 4.
You can always go in between with the point. This.
There you go.
Yeah. I think texture is pretty much the same.
The
Maybe
skin
the skin's a
reminds
little
me
thinner.
Yeah.
a little bit, yeah.
A little hair.
But I'm still having some skin that I need to chew,
Yeah.
but not bad.
Yeah. Very, very nice.
I'm going to stick with a 4.
Stick with a 4 on Big Beef. This carries a 4.
Bump it up a half a point for me, 3.5.
Okay. Dave's at 3.5. And what did I get Better Boy? I think at what, 3.5? Is
Yeah,
that
I
what I
think
did on that?
3.5, yeah.
For me, it's between 3.5 and a 4. I think I'm gonna go with a 4 for this one.
Waiting for him to go with 3.75.
We should be. We should do like a 100-point scale. That would make it a little more, but that would cloud up the card a little too much.
Well, and we'd have to try like a few first before we kind of,
Yeah. Yeah. The.
It is beautiful tomato. Though.
Oh, isn't that nice?
That's pretty.
It's sometimes I find you gotta like go back to ones that you already tried, and it's like what did I think about that one? This is kind of, let me try to remember. When I go through and I rate all these throughout the whole garden, it takes me like 2 days. I have a binder and I got a whole notes section, and that's what winds up taking so much time, is that I'll taste one and I'll be like, can I give that a 95 or a 93? I don't know. I got to walk all the way over to the other side and remember what that one tastes like.
Well, that was a very handy list too, because it's nice that we're tasting these.
Yeah,
but,
you saw it.
Yeah, but then knowing how they grow and everything is that much important too.
Sure. Yeah, disease resistance, texture, size of the plant, productivity. Okay, well, how about we do we got to do a palate cleansing. I keep forgetting about that. Dave and I, we did that about every other time last time.
I think it helped too.
little bit of mozzarella would be nice.
Oh yeah, a little basil. I've got the best balsamic vinegar in the house. So it's from a guy at the farmer's market. Sells it. It's just unbelievable. So this is Big Zack. This one is sort of small for how, in terms of average fruit size. Here's another one that I accidentally dropped my pruners on and put a nice little scar in there earlier, which I'm thrilled about. But they're a little bit larger compared to the rest of them. Sometimes you'll get a fruit on these that's just massive. In fact, this variety, this held the Guinness Book of World Records for a little
Bigger
while
than
here.
Delicious?
Bigger than, yeah.
I think Delicious was 7.5 or something.
Yeah, this was, I think this was eight something.
Wow.
I believe. But there's a new one out that, as far as I think last year, I think there's a new Guinness Book of World Records.
I have to check this
heaviest
out now.
tomato.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget the name of that one. I'll put it on the screen right here, what that one is. But this is a relatively smaller sized fruit for Big Zack. But flavor is what we're after for today's sake, so we'll see. There's a little bit of a bad spot there. We'll just cut that out. I remember this one as having a nice texture, I think.
Great color.
Yeah, isn't that pretty? Okay. What do you think there?
Oh, look at me just helping
I got a
myself.
feeling. Oh, yeah, it's so pretty. So tempting. That's the best so far, hands down.
Absolutely.
It's juicy.
Seems like the skin.
Good texture. Seems, what were you gonna say?
I think the skin, it was easier to chew the skin too on that one.
Sure.
Oh, and I discarded the skin.
That's okay.
It came so beautifully right off the skin that I just let it go. Yeah.
Yeah. Well. I like the texture of the meat. I think it's really nice and smooth. Got a good juiciness to it. I mean, there's not a whole lot of seed cavities going on, but the flesh itself seems to be really juicy. Did you guys get that?
I like it. I like the texture. I didn't think it was as tasty,
Really?
so I'd probably go to like a 3.5
Oh wow.
on that.
This is my favorite so far.
I can see
All right,
that.
so the disagreements
It's
begin.
no, it's just milder. It's not bad. It's just
Yeah.
milder.
Okay.
Great BLT tomato.
Yeah, sure. All right. Well,
I'll go
what everybody's waiting for.
3.5.
3.5. Carrie's at 3.5. Hey, Holly, are you going to tear anything up today? Last video, I'd noticed in the corner of my eye, the tomato cages were shaking back and forth over there, and I thought she was stuck. And I go over, and she's got the soaker hose in her mouth, and she's playing tug of war with it.
Oh,
and
lovely.
I'm watching my tomato cages fall over like dominoes. So, yeah. We're still young in this video. We'll see what happens. Dave, where are you at?
Same for me.
Same for Dave. Oh man, I'm going with a 4, solid 4 on that. I give it 4.5, but I think I'm going to save it. Save that 4.5.
I have a slight cold, so that could be part of it.
Yeah. Yep.
I'm finding it a hard time to be totally fair because I know what's coming up down the road here.
Exactly. I didn't want to give that away too early.
No,
For
no.
some of them, for some people that haven't tried ones like these before, I'm just gonna. I like a good milder tomato like that. Sometimes doesn't weigh you down, especially if you're used to eating, 5 pounds of tomatoes every day. The lighter ones kind of come as a welcome deal sometimes. Okay, so this is Carmello. This is the French Carmello. This is a hybrid variety, a hybrid market tomato. There are versions of this on the market that are dehybridized into an open pollinated form, but this is the hybrid.
And with the Carmello, is the hybrid more disease resistant, or what makes it different than the others?
Well, the hybrid is a cross between what I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
But I've never grown the open pollinated
All right,
variety,
all right.
so I can't answer you there. But I can tell you that this plant is just loaded. That's it right there behind you, on your right shoulder.
Oh, okay.
See the one to the right of the second row in?
Yep.
I mean, it's just dripping with fruit, and the disease resistance is fantastic on it. This is the first year I've grown this. A book, one of my gardening books growing up, one of my go-to books. This is the author's favorite tomato.
Oh, okay.
in the end of that book. And somehow I've never grown it until now, but here it is. See?
Now this is the one I mentioned to you when I came in the garden to this evening, right?
When what?
Carmello, isn't it the one I mentioned to you?
Yeah, yeah, the one that I sent you home with the other day. That's different.
Now you get more into my my liking.
I like it.
Yeah, it's got a different kind of sweetness to it. I think it's the most unique out of the ones that we've tried so far. Personally, at least for flavor, not so much texture.
I like that tomato.
Good. Yeah.
And the plant looks darn good.
The plant is incredible. I mean, it's just loaded down. Very, very little cracking whatsoever. Healthy, no blight on it.
Now, when you bought the seed to try this, was it just a guess? I mean, you just wanted to give it a shot. You didn't read up on it ahead of time, or?
Well, yeah. Well, I remember it from my book as a kid. But I had a go-to gardening book as a kid. I can't remember the title offhand, but the author of that book said that this is her favorite tomato that she's grown. So,
well, it is a good one.
That's where I got it from. So Carmello, what do you guys think?
I'm going to 4.
Carrie's at a 4.
3.75.
3 points. Oh boy.
No, you can give it a 4. I'd put
4.
a 4 in there. That's close enough.
Okay. I'm gonna. I'm gonna agree with you guys. For me, it's about 3.5 to a 4. It's different. Flavor. This is all on flavor and texture, by the way. What we're grading these on, we're not taking into account productivity and all that kind of stuff. If we were, I'd give it a higher number. Okay.
Matter which one?
Celebrity. No, pick your poison. Yeah, got the reddest one there. I'm just gonna scoot this out of the way so I don't get them confused. All right.
Carmello.
Celebrity. This is our third most popular tomato at our nursery. This is that one we're
It's
talking about?
probably our most recommended one because for especially newbie gardeners, it's determinate so it doesn't get too tall for people, and it's disease resistant.
I recommend this to people that are looking for either something that they have like a small garden or like a little raised bed, or growing in a pot.
Yeah, that's a great variety for a pot. Yep.
Because it only gets so big.
I like that and Galahad for pots. Yeah.
Galahad, okay. I'll have to try that one. I had one last year called Dixie Red.
Or is it Dixie Wine?
It was Dixie Red. Because I remember I had one called Dixie Golden Giant, but then this one was similar in name. It was Dixie Red. I don't think it was Dixie Red Giant. I was pretty sure it was Dixie Red, but that was a determinate variety that I grew. That was a very nice, smaller plant. I thought would do great in a pot.
Another thing, Mark, when someone says this is my favorite down through the years, my first question is, well, how many did that person try down through the years?
Right,
absolutely.
exactly.
And how many years, have they been growing tomatoes?
I mean, if they've only tried 20 varieties, well, then they need to try some more.
Yeah, we probably got like 100 years of tomato trying between all three of us here.
That one's good too, surprisingly. I wasn't expecting that to be as good as it is.
Yeah, I mean, I've always been a fan of these guys, but every regular red round tomato has its place. Sometimes, I mean, that flavor it's unique, it's there, and it always seems to satisfy.
And we have to give some credibility to Maryland soils because I think that makes for a good tomato too, right?
Everybody keeps telling me that oh man, Maryland tomatoes.
Okay, Jersey boys might not agree or wherever anybody else is from. But
no, I'm from Maryland. I grew up in Baltimore, but
yeah. I'd like to try some California tomatoes.
I was just going to say California grows some pretty good things too.
Yeah, I've seen some nice pictures that come out of California as far as tomatoes go. All right, well, what do you guys think on Celebrity? Taste or flavor and texture, all that.
I'm going to go to a 3.5.
Same for me, 3.5.
3.5 for Dave. I think I'm right there with you. I was going to say 3.5 to 4. A lot of these are so close.
They really are. Okay.
So Straits Red, I'm going to stick this over there so I don't get it mixed up.
I'll take care of that for you.
All right. So the chef's choice, was there a seed availability problem for a while?
I don't know. Not that
Okay.
we found. We got
All
our
right, well,
orders
good.
in early enough, I guess. Did you have a tough time
I don't
finding
think
seed?
we were able to get it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Good for you guys.
This is a great series. Somehow I only grew one Chef's Choice this year. They've got a black one, an orange one, a yellow one,
And a green one.
and a green one. It's probably more than that, but a lot of them won the AAS award. And I was sort of skeptical about that because I saw that it kept winning the AAS before
Right.
I've ever grown any of them. I'm like, all right, who's in whose pocket here? But they wound up all being fantastic tomatoes, at least the ones that I grew. I grew the orange, the yellow, and the black so far. And now this is the first year that I've grown the red, but the orange, the yellow, and the black were all phenomenal tomatoes. So I can certainly say that this series has got it going on. I don't think I've tried the Chef's Choice Red yet.
This is a new
I don't
one
think
for
I've
me.
ever tasted it.
It's a new one for me. Always enjoy that.
True test here then.
It's got good tomato flavor.
Very similar to the rest of them. I think if you take the rest of what we tried so far, blend it all together, and then pop one out, that's kind of what I would do.
There you go.
Yeah.
A mixture of everything.
I'm at that 3.35 again.
3.5. 3.35. Okay. We're getting low. He's anticipating these.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Somewhere between 3 and 4. I'm with you.
Okay. About both you guys at a 3.5. I'll give it a 4.
Being generous.
I'm being generous. I love that series so much. Maybe it's just in my head how much I like the series.
I would
Feel
like to
a
try.
judge at the Olympics.
It's hard.
Would like to try the green one in that
Yeah.
series. Okay.
Early girl, good old early girl. Smaller tomato. It is early, but it keeps going until late, as always. I mean, this plant is a huge plant, and it always stays healthy. Never seems to really get sick in the years I've grown it.
Do you grow 4th of July?
I grew Independence Day this year,
okay.
which I'm not sure how close, like if that's a relative of it or if that's just like sort of a knockoff of it or what that is. But Independence Day, I actually had an issue with one of my plants and I replaced it with the Independence Day, and that happened pretty late in the
Okay.
game. So I can't really compare how the Independence Day. So in fact, I don't even think I've got a ripe fruit off of it yet. That's why it's not on the table yet, but it was so late in the game. I've got 2 slices here. I need a third. No, but have you grown it?
Yeah, we had one of the ladies I work with really wanted us to try it. And our customers, if they want more than 4 tomato plants, they want a nice early variety.
Right.
So you go with early girl, 4th of July.
Right.
Pretty sweet.
I think it's the sweetest one yet.
Mm-hmm.
Because they really like this. I remember that with our own tasting we did one year. This came out on top.
She was just saying.
Free heirloom.
You mean as far as sweetness?
Mm-hmm.
Guys want another piece?
I'm going to save my.
Save your appetite? I'm taking another piece. You want another piece, Carrie?
And it's nice because you're harvesting before you get any early or late blade on it.
Well, what do you guys think?
Well, solid 4 for me.
It's a 3.5 for me, but a strong 3.5.
Okay. I'll put a D+.
There you go. That's great.
I'm going to put mine, I'm going to put it right up there with a 4. I'll say it's a solid 4 for me. Okay.
Can't get away from liking sugar.
No.
And
Especially, and right now we've had like rain finally the past few days here. We've been wanting rain so bad, and it helps the plants out, but the tomatoes are not quite as sweet, I think, as what they were like a week ago. Just because they had all that sun and all that heat really seemed to sugar things up.
We're about to find out.
Oh yeah. This is a good one coming up. This one is sort of in the pink, it's sort of in the red territory. So I just figured we'd throw this one in. and call it a red. It's also featured in the pink and purple and black video that we did, but it's close enough to red that it's going to be in this one too.
Put that over there. I'm sorry because I put the sign.
Okay.
Okay.
There we go. Yeah, this was a fantastic tasting tomato. I had my aunts over, my cousin down at the creek, about a week ago, and one of the fruits that came off of this plant was like this big, huge fruit, and I took it down to them and we sat there and ate it by the creek.
Nice.
Oh, it was like the perfect summer day. We picked green beans, or snapped the ends off green beans, and sat there and ate tomato.
And is this the original?
This is the 1923 Abe Lincoln. So this is the one that that Dave gave me, one of the plants.
That's good.
Well, that's a 5 for me.
I have to wait to taste the rest. I can't give anything a 5 until I have them all. But I'm with you. It's right up there.
It's a 5. It's a I don't know if it's a solid 5. We're going to start this solid stuff. It's a weak 5 or a solid 5. I'd say it's a 5.
Just beautiful meat inside that tomato. I'm just glad it.
Any more? That's good.
I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm
Good.
glad.
Right.
I'm just glad it was found again.
Yeah. Some of these varieties, they get dwindled away, and only so many people have the seed stock.
Oops, I'm sorry, I haven't let you mark that yet. I'm just taking the sign away from
that's
you.
all right. Yeah, before you know it, these things, they go extinct.
Now, there is a 1970s version of this, but it's totally different.
Yeah, I had one. I had an Abe Lincoln last year that was definitely totally different. I couldn't tell you which strain it was, but I just knew it as Abe Lincoln.
That was from the 70s, early
Okay.
70s, I believe.
It was a very late variety. All right, so what do you guys think?
I'm going 5. I'm with you.
Okay, I'm going to go with a 5. Dave, what do you think?
4.
4. Oops. Dave's another 4.
Oh, he's expecting something
Ollie!
better yet.
I
Let's see
am.
where Holly is.
I'm saving the 5 for something else.
Holly! She's around here somewhere.
Well, there's no tomato cages shaking, so that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Over this way. Oh.
Holly! She's here somewhere. Okay, I'm just gonna pitch these in the garden bed over here. All right. Ava's Purple Ball. That's one that,
It's a nice, sweet little size.
yeah, it's, well, I don't know if you call it purple. I mean, I think it's more in the pink, almost reddish territory, but if nothing else, it grows very similar to a lot of these other types. The plant is extremely healthy, it's very productive, and then these nice uniform round fruits with very little cracking, excuse me, remind me of just a regular red round standard type. It's called Ava's Purple Ball, and it's an open pollinated variety. Let's see.
A little lighter in color.
Lighter in color, almost like translucent.
Okay, I forget what this tastes like.
It's mild.
Mm-hmm.
This takes me back to the second one we tried.
The second one,
Mm-hmm.
Big
the
beef.
big beef.
The big beef.
It sort of looks very similar on the inside too, doesn't it? I think
Flavor and the skin is.
it's got a nice texture to it.
It's funny, I didn't like tomatoes as a kid, and now I just really enjoy them.
Really?
But I can't handle them in the wintertime. They have to be, it's summer.
Well, that's just it. Is you eat yourself sick of them to
Yep.
when like this time of year comes around again. I do the same thing. Well, I will say last year I had a lot of canned tomatoes to keep me happy, and that's sort of a bit of a different animal. I mean, you know, the texture changes a little bit.
Yeah, I freeze
But,
my plums. I don't,
do you?
and that's just to make sauces and chilies and stuff.
Yeah, it's fun. The jars that I do quart jars, and then I eat them right out of the jar.
Oh, there you go.
I can't stop. I eat the whole jar like every time. I eat the whole thing in one sitting, but that's a great way to get your fix during the winter time.
Oh yeah.
If you just can't help yourself. I can't bring myself to buy tomatoes at the grocery store.
Oh, I know. I understand that
I just
too.
can't do it.
Oh, hold on. Let's grate them.
Ava's purple bowl. Almost forgot. Thank you. All right.
I'm gonna go with 3.5.
3.5. What about you, Dave?
3.
3. I'm gonna stick with 3 there. Pretty good, but I think after that Abraham Lincoln, I think this one got a little bit stunted.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No ones yet.
It's
No
having to
ones
go
yet,
after
that's
the,
right.
after the best act.
Wow. We gotta get some supermarket tomatoes.
And then we'll get some ones.
We'll get some 1s and 0s. All right. Well, here's probably my favorite tomato in the garden so far this year.
Put that up there.
And I'm not supposed to say what I think before.
And one of the pretty.
You're leading us.
Yeah, we'll do
Wow,
that
how
one.
cool does it look, though? That's beautiful.
Isn't it something?
That's beautiful.
It's like a painting on the inside. We'll slice this one open too.
Well, I think it gets 5 for beauty.
Some
That's
people
for sure.
don't like that. I mean, I say people say, that's some ugly tomato. It's like, how can you call that
Oh
ugly?
my God, it's beautiful.
Gorgeous. But Ananas Noire. It's
And what color do they call this?
well, it's French for black pineapple is what it means. So I don't know what color you call. I just call it a bicolor. Green. It's got pinks, yellows.
Should I take this one, Mark?
There you go. Help yourself. We're getting towards the end. You can. You're a big guy.
This is the one, though, when the garden club ladies come over. You wait until they get there to slice it open so they can go ooh and ah over it, right?
This is a prize. I grew I think 4 of these plants this year,
Okay.
which is a lot because real estate. I mean, I want to grow as many varieties as I possibly can, but some of these are just so good that I want to have enough of them for when people come over and.
But, I mean, like, how many do you get on the heirlooms compared to, say, some of your hybrid varieties?
Well, some of the heirlooms do pretty good, and I think a lot of what it is disease resistance. So, like, you'll get a pretty large production off of a lot of the heirlooms, a lot of the open pollinated stuff, until they finally sort of succumb to late blight and things like that later in the season. Whereas a lot of these hybrids can just sort of keep going and they just sort of power on through. Eventually, once the weather starts getting cooler, sometimes you'll notice them greening back up. I find after they're through the hottest and most difficult part of summer, then they'll start to produce fruit again,
Yeah.
kinda. But then the flavors change so much too. So then by then your scale sort of changes. I mean, there's a lot of tomatoes that they taste great at during one part of the year, but then during another part of the year, they're just like they taste like wax or something.
You threw me off last year. I tried a midnight snack, and I had grown one the year before and thought it was one of
Yeah.
the best I'd ever had. And last year
Oh.
it was one of the worst I'd ever tasted.
Yeah. There was there was a lot of people that didn't really like that one. That was at least growing in my garden last year. I only grew 1 tomato, but
What was that, Mark?
it was midnight snack. I'm pretty sure every single person spat that one out.
That's a cherry tomato.
Mm-hmm. It's very similar to blueberries.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever seen that one?
Yeah, I think
Well,
I'm not too much on the novelties anymore.
what do you guys think on this one?
Oh, it's a 5.
I'll do a 4.5.
4.5. 4.5, Carrie. Come on. Dave's at a 5.
Top of the scale.
All right. Solid 5 there. Well, some people call this a novelty, you know.
I
But
think it is. I mean, I'd love to serve that.
I mean,
It's beautiful.
Might have a novelty look, but it doesn't have a novelty taste.
Yeah, exactly. Some of these like crazy looking ones, the novelty ones usually do have they don't stand up to par on the flavor. I think.
May I have a paper towel, please?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Dave,
I'm good.
try not
Thank
to
you.
make. Here, I'm just gonna start tossing some of these down by the wheel. We're using a trailer, by the way, as our picnic table here. All right. All right, got that one graded. Now this one, well, I guess we never talked about how we wanted to compare, right? Ananas Noire with the red ones. So let's talk about that too. I mean, is there like a difference? What do you think in terms of like, how would you say that this tomato would be different in flavor than a regular red round tomato?
I have to be honest, if I had my eyes closed, I'm not sure I'd know.
No?
I don't think I would on that one.
Melt in your mouth and a lot more sugar.
Think so? I'd have to agree on the sweetness.
And no problem with the skin at all.
The texture, I think, is a little different. I think it's a little bit smoother, kind of like this is more of like a peach, whereas that's more like a banana kind of texture. If I had to say it, like, you know what I mean? It's like slicker, it's smoother.
I think if you would put that on something like a salt crab sandwich or a bacon lettuce tomato sandwich,
Mm-hmm.
I think the combination, the flavors come out better with this than
Yeah,
the ones up front.
yeah. That's it.
As far as cooking.
Brings a little bit more uniqueness to it.
In the salad, you'd notice a difference.
Yeah. So many of my tomatoes don't even make it that far anymore.
I understand.
I mean, I did the BLT thing for a while, but now it's just,
I do a lot of cucumber and tomato salad, but
oh,
whatever.
Mhm.
A lot of
that's
that.
good. A little bit of onion. You put in a little bit of onion in there. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's a good way to do it. So many of my tomatoes, they just never leave the garden before I eat them anymore. So, well, let's go into now. This is an Oxheart variety called Curtis Cheek. Is another one that Dave gave me. Let me cut this one open actually, because I went ahead when I dropped my pruners earlier onto the other tomato, they wound up piercing this one with the tips of them. So, might as well cut this guy up.
Oh, that's pretty.
Yeah. I like the shot of it going this way. That when you cut it lengthwise on Oxhearts like this,
It's almost
sometimes you
like
get
the fibers.
Yeah, it's like fibrous, sort of. We noticed that with Taiga. Remember we were talking about
Taiga.
that in the other video, one of his bicolored Oxhearts. And an interesting, almost fibrous texture to it.
I'll give this one a 5.
You give this one a 5? Yeah. Okay, Carrie.
I will see it. We'll
Oops,
try it.
almost got you guys. No, Dave loves this one.
This may be the only one I'll grade before I taste it.
All right, cheers.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a 5.
Yep. It's got I think a richer flavor. I think it's the richest one so far, up there with maybe, well, I think even more rich than the Abe Lincoln, I would say.
And if that was
Personally.
even a little more ripe,
Mm-hmm.
which there's not a whole
See,
lot
here's
of,
where I'd have to try that one again to see. But
Bring it over
no,
here. Yeah.
no. Where am I getting?
Sure.
I'm
All right.
not going to start that.
that tomato's ripe, but if it was even another 2 days,
Mm-hmm.
I think the sugar goes up even higher with these.
Yeah. Well, you both at a 5.
That's always a
Yep.
top. That's always in my top 5 favorites, or at least top 10 anyway. So,
That's an exceptional tomato.
and most Oxhearts would be like that.
What, a 5?
I think
Or
they're all
just,
exceptional flavor tomatoes.
I've never been disappointed with any Oxheart I've ever tried. I had a yellow or an orange Oxheart last year. Can't remember the name of it. but I
Russian
think it was-
117.
No, I think it was just orange Oxheart. I can't remember the name of it. It's in my book. You know, when you get so many varieties, like it's hard to remember them all. You need a book. You need something to kind of write them all down, compare one to the next. All right, well, that's Curtis Cheek. Fantastic tomato. Now let's talk about a green one. This is a Green Giant. Get this a little over here. Let's get any water lately.
Doing all right.
Now, at our nursery, when I try to sell people green tomatoes, that's like the least successful approach that I have. I can sell a lot of other plants, but green tomatoes, it's tough to get people to take the chance on them. And I think it's just because it's green. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if I could eat a green tomato, a ripe green tomato, but
We've tried a few. Aunt Ruby seems to be the one people ask for the most.
Aunt Ruby's is over there. I'll put this one on the table because I personally like it a little
Yeah,
bit more.
no, that's good.
So this is another one that Dave gave to me and recommended.
I still think if I was stuck on a desert island and could only have one tomato,
Yeah.
this would be it.
See,
Really?
I see green giant and I want to go ho ho ho.
Yep.
But
It's
I'm old.
good. It's got a tartness to it. And it is ripe. I mean,
It
it's
is ripe.
It's got that, when it starts turning that little bit of a
Perfect.
yellow to it. Sometimes some fruits will get that little bit of a pink, just a hair, a pink blush to them. But
I don't think I'd like this alone, but I wouldn't mind it in a mixed salad. If that makes sense.
not a big fan.
No.
No? Okay.
I mean, it's okay, but
now you're giving all the customers credence to not trying the green tomatoes. You know, I'm trying to.
no, I mean, I think more and more people want that mixed heirloom salad and that kind of thing, and I think that's perfect to mix in there.
Yeah, sure.
It's beautiful on a tray with,
And it has a nice little tart taste to bring a different
Definitely.
flavor to it.
It's like a grape. You get that? It's sort of like a grape.
mix that with a couple of Abraham Lincoln slices
I
and a
didn't
few
make it
orange
face, did
ones.
I? No.
Yeah, let's look at this. That's a great idea.
What
There's the
a
Abraham.
combination.
Yeah,
Look
look
at
at
that.
the contrast on there. Yeah, do some caprese salad or something.
Oh, yeah.
Just like alternate them.
Throw a yellow one in there.
Wow.
Oh yeah, have a party. Okay, guys.
Trade your signs.
Well, I got to write down what we think
that's right.
first. Let's see.
It's coming up.
Well, I'm at a solid 4 on that one.
I'll go 3.5.
3.5.
5.
5. Okay. That's a. Excuse me. That's a town favorite. This is Virginia Sweets. It seems like everybody that comes through that I send home with tomatoes, they say that yellow one with the pink on it. That was just incredible. So, yep, that was Virginia Sweets. And I mean, when you slice this open, look at that.
Beautiful bicolor.
There's a lot of tomatoes that look like this, but this one for me seems to be on the more productive side. Less issues with cracking. But as far as flavor goes, they're all very similar, like old German pineapple and.
Unfortunately, the one we didn't get this year to try is gold medal.
Yeah, I wanted to have that one this year. We did have a problem getting seed for that one.
Which one was that?
Gold medal.
Okay.
Yeah, couldn't get our hands on that seed, but that I grew that a while ago. I do want to grow that side by side with this.
It's like a slice of pizza.
It's beautiful. But Oak and Jewel, that's another one I'm growing this year. It's very similar. They taste almost identical, but
Well, that's great.
Now I like the texture of that one a lot better. I like the overall juiciness. I'd give that a 5 in a heartbeat.
yeah. See?
Same with me.
Yeah. Okay. 5s all around. Never fails. This
But I
Virginia
want to
Sweets.
see. Throw that green one back in here now.
Okay.
Just look at that for your tomato salad.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Get yourself a nice orange in there now, like persimmon and
An orange one. Yeah, gotta get a black one in there.
all the colors.
Oh yeah, look at that. Now I want to try them all over again. All right, so 5s all around, huh? Gary Mark, is that Dave? Did you say 5?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Well, there we have it, guys. Those are all of our standard red varieties, or at least all the ones that I grew this year. And then I only grew 9 tomatoes. I kind of classified these as pinks, purples, but they're also like a red. But so I grew 7 what I call true reds, and then a couple more that can kind of fit into that category. And then just to finish the video out, I thought it'd be nice to, we gave our opinions on what we thought of sort of the crazier looking ones. But for me, I think this territory is where I like to stay personally. Every red tomato has its place, but my heart lies with these guys personally. Anyway, thank you guys for coming out and lending your opinions.
Thank you, and thank Tom and whatever. This is nice.
I think we got a little bit of a different flavor palette going on. It's not just me spewing out what I think. I mean, some of the stuff we had pretty different opinions on, so that's good.
Always fun getting fed, Mark.
Well, anytime. The garden's always open, So, all right. Well, thank you guys so much for watching our video. I hope you liked it, and we'll see you next time.